Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and some more Star Wars action for you here as we start delving into all the Shatterpoint kits that we've picked up. So first of the real expansions here is going to be Dooku's set here. So twice the Pride Squad Pack. It's going to give us Dooku, Jango Fett, and then some awesome Magna Guards. So we're going to get this open for you guys and kind of give you a rough idea of what you can expect in these typical sort of expansions for Shatterpoint, at least as we've seen them revealed so far, and the ones that are coming in the first several waves of releases here. So we'll be right back. We're going to get this opened up for you and show you everything inside. All right, everybody, welcome back, and let's break down what we get in the box here. So we'll save the minis for last, just because that'll be a little bit more detail. But we get 3 cards, one for each of our characters here, and that's just for the activation deck or the activation order. So, and there's a fair bit going on in Shatterpoint as far as cards, so it's not, thankfully, as token heavy as a lot of the other games are from Fantasy Flight, Atomic Mass, etc. But in contrast, we do have a lot of cards going on in this one, and just different size cards as well. So we got these like tarot size cards, again, that's activation stuff, but really cool artwork on there, and thankfully not recycled like a lot of the other older games were. Now, one thing I will point out, which I would hope they're not doing for every single box, and maybe I just got a weird box, but so I've got all the English cards sorted out, but in the box, we've got copies here for, I think, like 5 other languages of everything, so that's, I mean, if that's adding to the cost of this box in any way, like that feels like a giant waste, so maybe this was just a mispack, but there's all this extra stuff that I've got in my hand right now, that is all for other languages, so really don't need all that in one box, so hopefully somebody just screwed up on that, but that's just a lot of extra stuff that really, feel like a lot of people are just going to throw away and maybe not even take the time just to get to other people that might want those languages. So anyway, moving on from that, we've got our cards here, our other cards, which will then also tell us, sorry for the glare, see if we can mitigate that a little bit, but gives us our units and what they can actually do as far as some of their abilities. So Magna Guard are pretty cool. So we've got protection protocols, bodyguard, and intercede. So they are going to try and get in the way a lot of people trying to hurt Jango and Dooku, but also potentially other allied characters in a lot of ways. So good stuff there. Again, just very quick surface level overviews on this. We're not going to delve too deep into any rules or anything, but also coming with 10 health there. Jango, as you might expect, is pretty badass and has a lot of stuff going on. A little bit weaker on health, but really he has almost twice the different cool stuff abilities here that he can really do. So, again, just taking a quick peek at those. And then moving on to the man himself, Dooku. And also a pretty good stack of abilities. And he's got 10 health as well. But let's just take a quick look at the first one here. So, leader of the Separatist Army. At the start of his activation, choose another allied Separatist Alliance character within 3. Each character in that unit may dash. So that is pretty sweet stuff there. So really he's going to add some mobility in that specific special ability. Then, as I said, there's a lot going on with cards in this game, which might turn some people off just in all that sort of space that they're going to occupy and a whole lot of information spread out here. But this is essentially then some of the stuff that they'll be able to do, your various units, and how the damage will work in this game, which is a pretty unique sort of setup that they've created here, which is it's different, but it'll take some getting used to. But you've got your expertises there for offense and defense, then your damage track as well for this particular side. All these cards here that we're looking at now are also going to be dual-sided for some of the characters, just so that some of them, like your leaders, certainly will have different fighting styles that they can switch to. But you have ranged and close combat for a lot of these, so we can see that, the droids have just a pretty simple track there. Jango's obviously going to get a little more complicated, as does Dooku's. So, let's see if we can get that to focus properly. So then if we flip, droids won't have anything extra. Jango as well. But our leaders, so Dooku here, so we're looking at Force Mastery. to start with. And then he can flip over, and it's a whole new ball game when he goes to Makashi style. So lots of things going on there. So we get that, and ubiquitously here, we get our little online assembly guide that they have for the kits here. So pretty simple stuff there. Just scan the QR code. So setting all of our cards aside for just a second, getting into the bases for the game. So we got 4 guys in this box, 4 bases. I like that they're just going with straight up scenic bases for all of them. Pretty cool. Although there is a lot of similarity between all the scenic bases. So at some point maybe we'll see alternate ones that you can maybe flip the guys onto. But pretty big chunky bases here. I want to say they're roughly, I think 40 mil would seem about right. But give you an idea of what they look like. So they kind of have that little beveled edge there too. Not quite beveled, but anyway. And then the actual minis here, just on one sprue. And there you can see, so we got Django off in the bottom left, part of Dooku down here, then getting into the droids, our Magna Guards. So overall, not too complicated on the assembly for these, but again, they're doing some funkier things here in their poses, so probably worth consulting the assembly guide just to make sure you're not screwing anything up on these. But really good detail there as well. So we got the lightning bits there for the Magna Guards and their staves that they've got going on. So then let's flip this to the other side. So we'll get that out of frame there. So overall, it's not going to take you over long to put any one of these particular sets together. And some of them will probably be downright simple. Like imagine when we get to the Ewoks eventually, that shouldn't take long at all. But overall, good quality on these guys. Again, definitely, this is a bigger scale than Legion. Hence also why we're playing with fewer models overall. This is very much just a skirmish. But there you have it. So again, get your minis, bases, your cards. Again, hopefully you're not getting a whole bunch of extra cards. And then just to flip it out here. So roughly, once you're all ready to go, that's what you'll be able to build out of the kit there. So again, you get Dooku, Django, and a couple of Magna Guards. So not a bad selection for some Separatists here. So pretty elite stuff in this particular set. Let us know your thoughts on the kit overall. Did you also get all the extra cards? And have you noticed that in any of the other kits? Hopefully they're not, again, doing that. It seems like a giant waste to throw all that in the boxes. I feel like they would organize that by country rather than just throw about 20, 30 extra cards into each set. It does seem like a colossal waste. But anyway, not to dwell on that. Looking forward to really getting these together and getting some games in and getting some content out for you guys. Painting-wise shouldn't take long. Obviously, just dealing with the low model count that we're going to have for this game, so shouldn't take too long to get up and running for this. But let us know, again, your thoughts specifically on Shatterpoint so far. Are you liking it? Not so much? Or maybe in between? Maybe just waiting to see how the game develops? And your thoughts on this particular kit overall, and if you've gotten some games in with them, how have you felt that they've fared so far, and what have you done to synergize some of their abilities? Let us know in the comments, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back with more Shatterpoint soon.